We going.
There we go.
There we go.
Got my cozy sweater on. This gonna be got the cozy blanket.
Cozy blanket.
We're gonna have a cozy episode tonight. Got my pussy sweater on.
Yeah.
By pussy sweater, I mean cats.
Yeah,
There's cats all
that's
over
cats.
it. There's not vagina on my sweater.
The other pussy sweater is for the Patreon.
It's for the Patreon.
That's paid content right there.
Yeah, we got we cozy today.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a very relaxing, soothing episode tonight. We're going to be talking about the last voyage on the Demeter.
Yeah, from 2023.
Goddamn good movie.
For those of you tuning in, welcome to Best Buddy Spookies.
Mm-hmm.
Episode
5.
Episode 5.
Yeah.
We're going to lose count. We should probably stop.
Yeah, we
We're
probably
going to
should.
lose count. And yes, we are going to be visiting the last voyage of the Demeter, 2023.
Damn good movie.
That was a fun movie. Better than I expected it to be. I enjoyed it a lot more.
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed it more than I should because I'm a big fan of Dracula, anything story relating to Dracula. And the fact that this movie was pretty much just a small piece of Dracula's tale from the book, because this is just the captain's log.
Yeah.
Just that whole incident of traveling to the destination and what happened on the ship getting there.
Yeah. This was just a movie based off of a chapter out of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
And I listened to the audiobook not too long ago. It was a really good audiobook.
Yeah, I bought the book from Barnes & Noble not too long ago. Still got to read it. I'm excited.
The audiobook was really good. It had like a whole cast of like Tim Cummings and all sorts of people. And I was like, damn, they went all out for that book.
Oh yeah, as they should.
For sure.
A damn good story.
Yeah, and this movie is based off that one chapter in there, and of course, with every episode, we are going to jump to the movies. We're going to go through the different acts.
Yeah,
we're going to end the episode talking about our favorite kills from the movie, the most terrifying part of the movie that we would find the most terrifying, just the experience,
just goddamn horrifying
in real life, which I feel like is going to be an easy pick on this one, but we'll get there at the end.
And this movie has my two favorite actors, Liam Cunningham, which he was from Dog Soldiers.
That's all Dog Soldiers.
And he was Davos from Game of Thrones.
Yep.
With me saying that, I'm going to say something controversial right now.
Go ahead.
Yet again.
Go ahead.
The things that come out of my mouth.
Okay.
That's what people say.
Here we go. That's what we're here for.
I didn't start watching Game of Thrones till years later. I didn't understand what the backlash was. By the time I watched Game of Thrones, when it ended, I was like, why is everybody so mad? It couldn't have been that bad. I watched that goddamn show. I still say to this day, Game of Thrones, also with Breaking Bad, I still got to finish. Game of Thrones is peak television to this day. Season 1 through 5. 1 through 5. But after I watched the whole series, I understand why people was mad. I was fucking upset, and I was late to the party, and I was mad.
So I'm going to up the controversy here.
Oh,
I haven't watched the damn show.
I know.
I made it like a few episodes in. Granted, I tried to watch it when it first came out. So however many fucking years ago that was.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna watch it. I gave it maybe like 2 episodes, and I just
Oh yeah, you got that back into it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna add to the controversy. Haven't watched Breaking Bad either.
That's okay. It took me a while to get to Breaking Bad too. One of my buddies, he knows who he is. You know who you are. Keeps telling me to watch it. We'll finish it. I'm getting around to it. Brother, just give me time.
That's the problem. Is as long as the shows have gone on, I hear they're good. I myself just have a hard time investing in TV shows because
Yeah.
it's like that's seasons of time.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm opposed to it, but if I'm gonna pick one, like I gotta it's like it's gotta draw me in quick, so
Yeah.
that way I know like okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna sink some time.
Don't worry, they both good investments. Game of Thrones
All right, maybe
and
I'll
and
revisit
Breaking
them.
Bad. Okay.
But I also want to point out another thing about Liam Cunningham.
Yeah.
Another movie that he did that maybe we'll do at another episode.
He's an amazing actor.
He's a great actor.
Liam Cunningham.
Yes.
If you hear this, you're a goddamn amazing actor.
He was in a movie called Let Us Pray.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
that movie goes into some depravity.
Mm.
And
I'm gonna have to watch it now.
His character in that movie, I don't want to give anything away since you haven't seen it. And if those of you at home haven't seen it, go watch the movie. But also be warned, it's
got some stuff in there.
It's not a happy movie. I'm going to leave it at that.
All right.
But yeah, Let Us Pray. That's a wild ass horror movie. We should do that one.
Another amazing acting in here is David. What's his name?
David Desmoichin.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is another amazing actor.
I like that he's popping up in a lot more things.
Oh, yeah. He deserves it.
Yeah.
He was in The Boogeyman. He's been in a lot of James Gunn's projects. He was also did Late Night with the Devil. That's another goddamn amazing movie.
I enjoyed that.
If you haven't watched Late Night with the Devil, this is your message. Go do it. Go watch it. I don't want to call you a bitch again. I hate saying mean things to you. Go watch Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah. That was a fun movie. I enjoyed that one quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I like the whole setup, the premise, and stuff like that. That'd be another fun one, too. Well, maybe we'll visit that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the last voyage of the Demeter.
Before we get into Last Voyage of the Demeter, of course, I know that we are now in episode 5.
Episode 5.
Episode 5. And for those of you listening, and for those of you that are watching, I'm sure you've heard some great music at the beginning of our podcast intro.
And the outro.
Heard that banger of an outro. And let me just tell you something. That is from the beautiful mind of one of my longest friends. I've known him since high school, Brandon motherfucking Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that man is just like a musical savant, a musical genius. Go check him out. Go check him out on Instagram. And for the guys listening, and the guys that are watching, but for the women as well.
Tell them.
We don't discriminate here.
Tell them.
Mainly for the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're looking to get the mood right? Oh, you're checking your pockets? You're out of Blue Chew? Brandon Hayes has got you. Blue Gazer, his LP. It is available on all streaming platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And Band Geek, Band Geek, one of those websites.
I think so.
I have to look that up.
Yeah, I think so.
You can buy it for $5. $5.
That's more.
That's gonna put some peck in your pepper.
That's more than fucking cocaine nowadays. No, that's less than
less
cocaine.
Than cocaine.
That's less than
cocaine. But it's gonna have the same effect on you downstairs. So give it a listen. Follow Brandon Hayes. We'll put his information out there. But I'm telling you guys, hey, you run out of Blue Chew. You need something to get the mood going. Brandon Hayes, Blue Gazer, he's fucking got you. Now we can go back to the news.
They're going to start contacting Brandon for all types of dick pills.
Yeah. This is, okay. If you have some sort of dysfunction, you should probably go see a doctor.
Yeah.
Like a medical professional. But if you're looking for something fun to set the mood, Brandon Hayes, Blue Gazer LP, he's got you covered.
We don't know if he has dick pills, but he has everything else you need.
I think the music that he's done, because I've listened to it, and it works.
Yeah,
it works.
It works.
Ladies, if you need something and you don't want to douse your man's drink with something, Brandon Hayes, he's got you.
Back to the last voyage of the Demeter.
Oh, that's right. That's why we're here.
We love you, Brandon.
Damn right, buddy. We love you so much. All right.
Last voyage on the Demeter.
That's right. We're here for movies.
Not Viagra, not Blue Chew. But if you're in the market.
Yeah.
Last voyage on the Demeter the story of pretty much just Dracula being transported on the boat
Mhm.
to what was it? Where was he going? London?
Yeah, he was going to London.
Yeah.
They were basically transporting him from Transylvania.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you listen to the book or read the book,
Yeah.
whichever your choice is, he's basically being transported by ship from his castle in Transylvania to London.
Where he's about to start a whole new feast and party.
Yeah. And the movie is really it's a very simple premise,
Oh yeah.
and I feel like they did a good amount with what they had, because it's one chapter from a book called Captain's Log,
Yeah.
and it's just on the boat. That's it. Um,
But they did a good job in this
yeah,
movie where they fleshed out the captain's log to a full-fledged story that felt very full, no filler. We're just getting pure, just horrifying terror. Because
yeah.
when we start off the movie, we see one of the I forgot his name.
Which one?
The doctor.
Uh, Clemens.
Yeah, Clemens.
Yeah,
We see
Clemens.
Clemens, and he's pretty much trying to get work, get on the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and when he goes to when he gets to the Demeter, they tell him, "Hey, you're not really cut out for this. You're not a shipman." And
Yeah,
he's just like, "Oh, well, you're gonna need a doctor eventually."
yeah. He tries to sell him on the fact that, hey, I'm a doctor. I have medical skills. I also have a knowledge of astronomy.
Yeah,
And he's trying to kind of sell himself to Warcheck, which is David Dismotion.
yeah,
And I apologize if I'm fucking that name up, because I
yeah,
probably am. Um, and they turn him down. They hire someone else instead. And the reason why he ends up on the Demeter basically is because the people that are transported these boxes, they're just wooden crates, just a crap ton of wooden crates,
yeah.
and they are being loaded up on a ship. The guy that's loading it up, he sees a symbol, it's a dragon on there, and he's like, "Oh shit, that's no good,"
Yeah.
and he freaks out a little bit.
And
And
Bales.
well, yeah, and he almost drops the crate on Toby,
Yeah.
who is the grandson of the captain, Captain Elliot, who is Liam Cunningham.
Yeah, Liam Cunningham.
So Clemens gets Toby out of the way as the box is falling, this crate of earth,
And earns the respect of the captain,
Yeah.
like, hey, maybe we do need him on
Yeah.
board.
well, we're gonna pull you on,
Yeah.
and Warcheck, little still like, I don't know about this,
Yeah, I don't know about this fucking guy.
but then ends up taking him on the ship, and I mean the setup, like the first act, not a lot happens. To be quite honest, like it's a pretty slow building thing. Like, okay, you meet the characters, they're loading stuff on. The guys freak out, like, oh, that's bad omen. There's no, and they're like, oh, we're leaving, like, by sundown. You got to get out of here, basically. And they leave. They're sailing away. Not too much is going on until like all of a sudden the livestock
The
in
first
there.
nightfall hits.
Yeah, the first nightfall.
Pretty much it's the introduction to the crew, everybody getting acquainted,
Yeah.
familiar with each other. Then after the first nightfall, that's when things start to pick up. Things start to go awry.
Yeah,
Because Dracula comes out during the
Mhm.
first nightfall, get his sea legs, get his bearings.
And you get a good glimpse of him, like very brief.
Yeah.
But like the way they did it was pretty good, because you had Clemens and you had the other guy, one of the main guys on the ship, Olgrin.
Yeah.
They're up on the deck. Everyone else is down. And Olgrin's using his telescope. He's just looking around. And he just happens to look
And sees that glimpse of Dracula.
and sees that quick glimpse of Dracula's face. And then telescope goes down, and, oh shit, he's gone. But then he's going to investigate, like, what's going on. But then Clemens is also, he realizes that Olgrin's gone, and he starts to investigate too. And they both see him, like, individually, and that's like, okay, now you're getting a little bit somewhere. And then shortly after that whole sequence, shit starts happening.
Shit
The,
starts to go down.
the dog gets killed.
First off, yeah, he gets mangled because Dracula at this point needs to feed. Dracula, our boy is hungry. Big boy hungry.
Yeah, but he killed the dog.
Yeah,
and he's lucky John Wick wasn't on that fucking ship.
Yeah, the dog had to go first.
Yeah, because the dog was snooping around and kind of like, oh, what's going on down here? And it's like, oh, gotta take the dog out.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But then not only did he kill the dog, but then he also he just eats, just fucking feeds on all the livestock.
All that they had for the trip gone.
Yeah. And then they're worried, like, oh, maybe it's rabies. Maybe it's something the dog had or something like that. So they're suspicious. So they're like, toss them all over.
Yeah.
Get rid of all these.
And they ask Clemens, the captain's just like, hey, is this rabies? Is something going on? And Clemens was just like, hey,
I don't think it's rabies.
I don't think
that's not how rabies works. Olgren's the only one I think that speaks up at this point. He's like, no, this is evil. There's something evil like at work here. Like something's going on here.
The devil's at work.
Yeah. So at this point, I believe they. Well, okay. Let me back up a little bit. So when the livestock was kind of going crazy the first night, that's when Clemens goes to check the cargo hold, and that's where one of the boxes has fallen, and there's all this dirt and earth all over the place.
And he starts digging through there, and he finds the girl.
He finds the girl, Anna. We come to learn it's Anna.
Yeah.
So he's trying to give her blood transfusions because he's like, oh, she's got some sort of infections, so this should help her out. So I believe he's doing like it's his own blood.
Yeah, his own blood. And everyone else on the ship starts freaking out because Sailor's Tale, way back when, it's crazy and a bad omen to have a woman on board. So everyone's freaking out, just like, where did she come from? Who is she? We got to get her off the boat. And Clemens is just like, hey, we're not. I'll watch over her. I'll take care of her. And the captain was pretty cool about it. He said, all right, if you're going to take care of her, she can have your rations. Captain was just like, hey, we're already set on course. Mm-hmm. We can't stop. He was just like, hey, if you're going to watch her, watch her.
Yeah.
But then everyone else was still just
like, this is a bad sign.
It's a bad omen.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't wrong.
Yeah, they weren't
wrong, but I mean, still. So now we're going into the next nightfall time, and also at this point, I believe Toby has been kind of like watching over Anna. As she's been resting, and he's kind of getting like small information, like words from her as she's kind of like coming in and out of consciousness and stuff like that. That's how we learn her name.
Yeah,
Anna. But now it's second nightfall. Dracula
is out.
He's got it.
He's out. Feed. Dracula's out. Mm-hmm. He's hungry and he needs to feed.
Yeah. And he kills Petrovsky, I believe is his name. And Petrovsky's like kind of like he's patrolling the deck, he's looking around, and he sees Dracula. Like he looks really weak and he's like under a set of stairs. And he's like, oh, what's going on here? He's coming at him with a knife. And Dracula's like, JK, motherfucker. He just jumps up and just like slashes his
throat,
neck.
And it's all over the place.
Blood everywhere.
And he's just bleeding out.
Yeah.
And Dracula crawls on top of him and just starts drinking his blood. Just starts going in there.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn drinking him like a high C juice box.
Yeah.
And he just keeps going. And mind you, the more blood Dracula's drinking, the stronger and more healthier he's being. And you get a good look at him. I like that the Dracula also was at some scenes he was CG, but most of it was practical effects.
And I do like how he kind of like evolves. Like the more blood he gets.
He evolves like a goddamn Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like he starts off frail and weak, but then you start to see him come back to life as he's drinking
his features
these high
start to
C
become
juice
more and
boxes.
more like detailed, like his teeth and his eyes and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Like, yeah, like it was quite the transformation.
And Bosklowski.
Petrovsky.
Yeah, what you said. After he just got mangled and stuff, that's when, isn't that when Anna wakes up the next day fully?
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
next day, because they're trying to figure out what happened to him because he's gone missing.
Yeah.
And Clemens was the one that found the knife, Petrovsky's knife. So then now there's like, it's the paranoia starting to kick in. They're like, something's going on here.
Everybody's kind of turning on each other.
Warchek was like, hey, maybe you're the one that found the knife, but he's like, sure, I killed him and got no blood on me.
Yeah.
When there's blood fucking everywhere.
Yeah, and Clemens was just like, don't come at me with this bullshit.
It's like the next time
I'm a doctor.
He's like, the next time you have a thought, let it go.
Yeah, let it go. Clemens,
he
was tired.
He wasn't putting up with that bullshit.
Yeah, because he was already getting, like stares and
yeah.
lightweight racial remarks from what's his name?
Warchek really just kind of like didn't seem to be like, super friendly towards him.
Yeah, so he was just like, hey, mind your goddamn business, bitch.
Yeah. So then, that's when Anna gets up, and then that's when we get a little more information where it's like, hey, she was basically sold to Dracula as food.
As food for the trip, pretty much.
Not just as a trip, but it was like, hey, it was like to keep her village safe. They're like, hey, you take her and then you'll leave everybody else alone.
Yeah.
And so then, that's when she says the name. I think she says the name Dracula in there.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive.
Yeah.
So, we're getting more dialogue from the captain's log. And it's, as the movie progresses, the captain's log just sounds more and more just like
this descent into madness,
because it's like doesn't know exactly what's going on. People are going missing, people are dying, livestock's dying, all that shit. So then, now we're going into the next night, third, whatever.
Yeah,
the next nightfall.
Third nightfall,
and this guy, I think this one was Larson, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Again,
the chef, right?
I don't remember if he's the chef or not. I thought the chef, the cook, was like the Asian dude.
Yeah.
Not him. No, this is another guy, Larson. He's out there. He's on the deck. It always happens on the deck. And this is where unless I'm mixing them up, because it's quite possible I'm catching your dementia.
I told you.
Contagious. I think this is the few scenes where he's gonna light the lantern, and then you get like a glimpse of Dracula standing behind him when he goes to light the lantern, and then he's gone. But Dracula fucked this dude up. Didn't even eat him.
Yeah.
Didn't even wasn't even hungry. He was just angry. Just he lands on him and just smashes his face into the deck and is already just mush. But then picks his face up and just smashes him a bunch more times. Face is all fucked up, and there's just like, dude's dead.
Yeah, it's just a mess.
Never shows that he actually ate him.
Yeah.
Like, I think he just like,
I'm sure he did.
Maybe he did.
I'm sure he did.
But like, he
drank him like a Capri Sun.
Made his face into soup.
Yeah.
Basically what happened, he souped his fucking face. And again, it's like now we're going into the daytime, and it's like, shit, another person's missing. All this stuff, But then,
and the paranoia of being at sea when there's nothing else around you. You're just sailing. There's nothing you can do. People are disappearing. You don't know what's going on. It's just madness. It's just anxiety.
It's always sunny, the implication.
Yeah, it's always the implication.
The implication.
It's just madness. And the captain doesn't know what to do. He's just logging everything.
Yeah, because it's like, what else can he do? You know?
Besides just lead the ship and say, hey, there was one point in the movie where they did suggest stopping, getting rid of all the cargo at a closer location, but the captain decided not to.
Yeah.
He said, hey, we're still on course. We'll be fine. They had the option to leave and dip out and drop Dracula off at a closer location, but they decided to keep sailing. Hey, I'm not saying it was a bad move. I'm just saying not the wisest career decision.
Yeah.
Not the wisest career decision.
Yeah. I mean, and towards the earlier parts of the movie, the captain, Elliot, says that this is his last voyage. Once they get to the destination, he's done.
Yeah.
And he's going to give over the ship, the Demeter, and the crew to Warcheck. And he's like, you're going to take my place.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Like, you're going to be the captain. You'll be a good fit and all that stuff. So it's like, he's already on his way out. And it's just like, all right. Like, it is your last voyage.
This is your last. Everybody last voyage.
Yeah. So now we get into a part that this is like the first time we think we get something where we get almost like a Dracula's taken over something, you know. So Olgrin gets he's bitten. I think he gets bitten, and he starts turning. He starts freaking out. And he starts, slashing, and it's like freaking out, because he's losing control of himself, and his eyes are going all zombified.
Became
crazy.
One of Dracula's familiars in a sense.
Yeah, one of his servants,
yeah,
if you will.
And he just starts going crazy.
And he goes crazy. So, like everyone's up on deck at this point. They have Olgrin, I believe he's tied to like the dining area, and he breaks loose and he starts going after Toby.
Yeah.
The grandson. And Toby runs into the captain's room. I believe
he does.
And locks the door because Olgrin's just like going crazy after him, and he's trying to like hide. Olgrin's smashing through the door. Mind you, nobody hears what's going on yet. But Toby's trying to hide. Olgrin's trying to get through this door, but Toby's hiding and he's looking over in one corner of the room. And then Dracula's hunched in the corner. And he just fucking stands up, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh yeah, he was waiting for him.
It's getting crazy.
But don't they stop Olgrin like halfway through?
Yeah,
and they tie him up to the upper deck.
Yeah, so they basically stop him. They subdue him, but in the hole that they make, that's when the crew, who's left, see Dracula for the first time and realize, oh shit,
there's someone on the boat.
There's some fucked up shit in here. But now everyone's like, fuck, Toby's in the room with that thing. We got to try to get in there and get in, like we got to get in there and get Toby. Dracula gets Toby.
Yeah, Dracula did not discriminate. Dracula goes after men, women, kids. If Dracula's hungry, he's gonna fucking eat.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I just need a snack.
Yeah, I just need a
snack. I don't need a full meal.
Just need a snack. And he gets Toby.
Toby.
And everyone gets a good look at him.
Yeah.
And everyone sees just like, oh, there is something on the boat. There's this hellish nightmare, demon, devilish, demonic creature in here.
Yeah, because they're like, I don't even know what the fuck to do with this, because they're like, they get in there. They finally get in there because Anna grabs the gun that has been there
and blows the door open.
I'm like, I feel like that could have been done sooner.
And gets Toby.
But whatever, acted late. So they go in there and, they're like, basically Toby's dead.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the part where you're talking where they get Olgrin and they get him tied to the mast right there. And then the sun hits him and he bursts into flames. Shit was wild.
And everyone starts freaking out.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem real. He starts catching on fire, burning, screaming. And then Kerchak, he comes and shoots him. like halfway through him burning.
Yeah, Warcheck puts him out early.
Yeah.
Just like, oh shit.
And
I'll put him out
he
of
just
misery.
shoots him in the face, and everyone's just standing there just like, okay. They just witnessed something that's physically impossible. So everyone's thought is, all right, everybody, what the fuck is this? What's going on? We need to regroup and talk about this.
Yeah. And it's like, it's all settling in now, like, oh shit, like this is real shit. This is real shit. And then now we get to the point where they're like, hey, we saw what happened to Ulgrin. Toby, we got to chuck him over.
Yeah, we got
to chuck him over, and they're getting ready to toss him over. And of course, understandably, Elliot, the grandpa, the captain, is just like distraught and he's circling at this point. And he's like, they're getting ready to toss Toby overboard. And he's like, wait, I saw him move, and I swear I saw him move.
And then
Toby
turns into a familiar.
Toby turns into one of those things.
Bursts out the sheet. Then catches on fire.
Yeah, because he grabs his grandpa. He grabs Elliot. And as he sits up into the sunlight when he's going basically to bite the captain, bursts into flames in his face
and burns him
too.
And then they chuck him. He chucks him overboard.
Just like chuck him overboard.
Yeah.
That one, most horror movies don't go after the kids.
Yeah, kids are usually off limits.
Yeah, unless you're in like a Lars von Trier movie.
Yeah,
then everybody's dying in terrible fucking ways.
Yeah, but kids are usually off limits. Yeah. But I like in here, no one was safe.
Yeah, because usually like that's what kind of stuck with me. I was like, oh shit, they went there.
Yeah, no one's safe in this movie, and that's what I like about it.
They were like, the director's like, hey, this is Toby. Fuck Toby.
Yeah, that's what he
like. Toby, too fucking bad.
Yeah, he pretty much said, you know what? Personally, I don't like kids.
Yeah,
that's what the director said. He said, personally, I don't like kids. Everybody dying in this movie. I understand it. I respect it.
I think the director, when he was putting this scene together, he was like, hey, there's this neighbor kid. His name's Toby. He lives 2 houses down.
And he really pisses me off.
He doesn't think that we know, but we know that he's coming over and he's pissing on our lawn. He says it's a dog. He doesn't have a dog. He's just walking over, pissing on our lawn and causing brown spots. He's like, oh, sorry, my dog. You don't have a fucking dog. You coming over here taking pisses on our lawn. You're dying in the movie. Dracula's going to suck you dry and pissing on shit. It felt personal.
Exactly. It was a personal attack.
It felt personal.
And then pretty much after Toby dies, the captain is he's done. He's in distress. He's mentally not there. And then the rest of the 3 remaining people of the crew is just like, hey, we got to set a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do something. Like we're next.
Yeah, we got to do something. And so now they're going to this crazy storm. And it's like, well, that's not a good sign. That's not what you want.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's only like 4 of them. Because like the captain's just out of it. He's in his room.
Captain's done.
He's a burn victim at this point.
Yeah.
You got Anna, you got Clemens, you got Warcheck, and there's one other guy, and I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, the chef.
The chef.
The chef. We forgot about the goddamn chef.
My bad, chef.
He tries to escape with the support boat, and he just starts rowing out into the distance. But at this point, like a Pokemon, Dracula has evolved, and now he has wings. Now he can fly now.
Yeah.
So the chef thinks, okay, I'm away from the boat. I'm going to get away. Dracula says, guess what, bitch? We've evolved. And Dracula flies from the ship to his location, gets him.
Yeah.
Gets him.
And
if they hear it from the distance, they can see the lamp and and the boat from the distance, and they hear a scream, and then the boat just trickles all the way back.
But I think he flings the chef into the fucking sail.
No. That was the other guy.
Oh, it does mix that one up?
Yeah,
I thought that was the chef. Like he brought him back just to throw him into the fucking
No,
sail.
the chef got ate on the boat.
Oh, okay.
The other guy you're talking about who got souffled like a damn Caesar salad, he was I forgot which one he was, but he did die and get fucking clinged against the sail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because it was like the end. It was like the other, I think it was the guy that was with Warcheck.
Yeah.
Was it Warcheck? No.
No,
it wasn't Warcheck.
No, it wasn't Warcheck.
So yeah. Okay, we're losing that dementia.
That dementia's kicking
hard.
in.
But yeah. So now they're trying to fight Dracula in the storm. He's fucking flying around and shit.
And it's not working.
And this is like one of those things where I thought was really cool. They're showing like the evolution of him as he's getting stronger, basically, because he's been eating his vitamins.
Yeah.
He's
been eating his goddamn gummies.
He's been getting that Hulkamaniac shit going on. And it's like the evolution that he's gone from like this like weak kind of crawling thing, but still pretty terrifying to look at. And as he's become stronger throughout the movie was a really cool thing. Now he's got wings, because then we actually hear him talk.
Yeah.
And that was another thing I wasn't expecting too, because the captain's back up there. He gets attacked. He gets bitten, but he also gets like almost crucified.
Yeah.
In the way that he ends up being tied to the steering.
Yeah, the steering.
Yeah. And they find him and they try to, loosen that and stuff. And you're down to Clemens and Anna, and they're like, what are we going to do? And that's where we hear Dracula holds.
But don't forget Warcheck. I mean, that word.
Warcheck. Yeah.
Don't forget him, because at that point, they decide to just destroy the ship.
Yes.
Yeah. So Warcheck goes down to destroy the ship and takes the axe and starts doing it. But Dracula comes down there and gets him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I skipped that part.
Yeah, he gets a good.
He gets it. My dementia.
Halfway through, he almost gets it, but Dracula gets him halfway. Yeah. He dies, so it's just Anna
and Clemens.
Yeah, just Anna and Clemens, and they're just fighting Dracula in the middle of the storm in the ship. Shit's getting crazy. My cheeks were clenched. It was very stressful. And then they go down where Warcheck was to finish destroying the ship. And that's when they go back up top and they just start fucking fighting Dracula.
Yeah.
They just start fucking fighting Dracula. And he's flying around. And at this point, Clemens starts giving his monologue to Dracula saying, you're not immortal. You're not that tough. You're not that scary. You little bitch. You bleed just like us. And that pisses Dracula off. He like gets in close to him.
Yeah.
And he starts talking.
Starts choking him.
Yeah. And
because that's when Clemens like, I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah.
And Dracula's like, you will be.
Yeah. And that's the first time you hear him talk. And I said, okay, Clemens, you might want to keep your fucking mouth shut right now.
Yeah.
Like if he couldn't fly, I'd say, hey, talk all the shit you want. But this motherfucker can fly.
Yeah.
Let's chill out for a bit. Let's stay in our wheelhouse for a second. And then when he's about to, get the business, Anna comes, saves his life.
Yeah. Because then she like swings an axe at him or something like that.
Yeah.
But then this is where we're getting, so frees Clemens up, but then this is where the ship's starting to fall apart and Dracula gets pinned to like that big mast, like right in the middle.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're getting the fuck off this. They jump right off the ship and then the ship's just getting fucking destroyed. But Dracula, of course, gets away from it. And then they're just kind of floating on debris, until the sun comes up.
And we realize that Anna, at that point in the movie, Dracula did bite her and get her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's when she makes the call on herself because Clement's like, "Hey, I can give you another transfusion. We
Like, we
keep
could fix
going."
this. And she's just like, no, she knows how this ends.
Yeah.
And she parts ways with Clemens
Mm-hmm.
and she burns off into the distance.
Yeah.
And it's just Clemens. He's the only one that survived.
Yeah.
And then we fast forward to a little bit later. Clemens is in London.
Yeah.
And he's, writing down his pretty much his version of the log.
His epilogue of the captain's log, basically.
Yeah. And then this is where the movie gets trippy. Dracula does the knock that they were doing on the ship.
Yeah.
And Clemens looks around just like, he hears the knock, freaks him the hell out, because only he knows he's the only one who's left. And then Dracula just grazed the back of his neck with his hand.
Yeah.
He was just like, hey.
He's like, I know you're here. And then he fucking walks out. Clemens chases him out there, sees him in the fog, and then just like runs after him.
And Dracula just gives him a smirk
Mm-hmm.
and just leaves, vanishes.
Yeah.
And then Clemens pretty much just tries to hunt him down.
Yeah.
And
that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah, that's it.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
I did like this movie. I did. It was one of those movies that really, like the beginning, that first act, not a lot's really going on. It really is more of like a setup to what's going on. But as the movie progressed, I really did like it. I liked the vibe that it was given. I know how the movie ended, and I know how the book goes.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be opposed if they did like more like after it, but if you follow the book, Clemens doesn't really play too much into the book.
Yeah.
From what I remember, like he's just part of the captain's log thing.
And then that's it.
That's it.
It's pretty much over.
Yeah. I like Dracula in this one. I like an aggressive vampire like that.
One thing I will say,
aggressive Daybreakers vampires.
One thing I will say is the worst fear to be is in a location that you can't leave. Like whether it be a space station or a ship, because it's horrifying. Like they were on the ship, there's nowhere to go. You're at sea and you're stuck with this creature. Those are the worst case scenario stories where it's not like you're in a house or a neighborhood or someplace you can run or escape.
Yeah, you're in that confined space, but in like a vast, almost void, like space or like the ocean, like you're talking about.
Like there's nowhere you can go. There's only two options you have in those situations: either fight or die. That's the only options.
Yeah, fight till you die, I guess. At that point,
that's your only options. Because what else are you gonna do?
I'm not going on a ship. I'm not fucking with the Kraken.
Yeah, that's
Kraken down there.
And I'm one of the old age black people. I don't know how to swim. I'm gonna get there eventually before I die, but I can't swim, so a boat's out of the question.
I'm worried, like, okay, if I'm on this ship, this creature is gonna kill me if I stay on the boat, or do I jump off the boat? And fingers crossed, maybe Cthulhu leaves me alone. But either way, I'm like, this is shit. Because if you see that and you know that's real, Cthulhu's real then. At that point, you're like, oh well, I'm fucked either way.
Oh, yeah. Look, if I was one of the crew members and I was on the ship and two people started disappearing, I would have said, okay, we're at sea. Two people are gone. And the safety boat is still here. I would have said, hey, Captain, thank you for bringing me on to this job. I appreciate it. Drop me off at the next location. Let's make a pit stop.
Yeah,
I want to leave.
Leave me there.
You can have the rest of my money, the rest of my shillings, my gold. I'm getting off. I'm getting off halfway through.
Yeah, I'm not playing that game on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not playing that game.
Yeah, even if one person disappeared, I'm gonna be in the captain's office, just like, hey, Steve, um, can we be one on one off the record? Where the fuck did Jeff go? And the captain's gonna be like, well, he should be here. He should show up eventually. And you know what my reply gonna be? Motherfucker, it's been 2 days. Where is he? Like,
Yeah.
where is he? We're on a ship in the middle of nowhere. People are disappearing. Drop me off at the next location.
I like that some of the assumption was like, oh, maybe he just fell overboard. And it's like,
we would have
that's what he just fell overboard.
We would have heard that.
Yeah,
I would have heard that. Somebody
wouldn't hear him go.
Yeah.
No, he just threw himself overboard.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey man, if 2 people disappearing, I need to get off the boat. This ain't for me. I signed up for the wrong job. 2 people disappearing on the boat. I chose the wrong profession. I'm getting back on land and I'm selling my body. I'm selling my body for money. It's going to be a better outcome than staying on that damn boat.
Yeah.
Especially if I was one of the crew members who saw Dracula. First thing I'm telling myself, that's not a hallucination.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me going crazy. I'm getting off the boat. I'm going to the city. I'm whoring myself. Because that's going to be a better outcome than what I just saw through the telescope.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I see a creature in the night, I'm going to be like, oh, hey, whoa, shit. What did I just see?
Yeah, and if I saw it, I'm not going in that direction.
Yeah, if
I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stay here.
If I saw it,
go backwards.
Yeah, if I saw it, I'm going back to my cabin. And next morning, I'm coming to the captain. Hey, yo, I just seen some shit. And if the captain say, oh, Lassie, that's just your first time at sea. You see some things. I'm going to tell him, okay, I respect your opinion, even though it's wrong. Drop me off at the next stop.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I'd like to speak to HR.
Yeah, I like to speak to HR. I need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Because everybody on that ship was just a Capri Sun juice box for a thirsty boy here.
Yeah. So let's get into this here. What was your favorite kill from the movie?
Favorite kill.
Favorite kill.
I gotta say, when the chef got when he got Uber Eats on that damn extra boat in the ocean, because that's just horrifying. The way he died was just fucked up. Dracula just flew off the ship. He's flying around in the air. You see him flying, and then he landed on the boat, and he hunched down and just looked at him. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? At that point, I'll just drown myself. The chef got messed up.
He got fucked.
He got Uber Eats.
Yeah, he got DoorDashed.
Yeah, he got DoorDashed in the middle of the ocean. I was just like, man, damn. I was like, Jesus Christ. Lord have mercy.
I'm gonna go with Toby.
You gonna go with Toby?
Toby's gonna go, like, the whole Toby thing. Like, first off, again, kids usually off limits. Unless you're in Lars von Trier films.
Yeah.
Everyone's dying. Everyone's getting turned into nipple wallets.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. But like when it happened, when he got bit, and I was like, fuck, they did it. Again, the director. That Toby kid's somebody from real life.
Yeah.
Either it's that kid 2 houses down is pissing on his lawn, or it was some like classmate when he was growing up, and Toby was the one that was putting gum in his seat when he went to sat down, and when he stood up, it just had this like chewy gum filled between his butt cheeks. It was personal. Toby had died, but he didn't die once. He died twice.
He did die twice.
Second sequence, when Toby comes out of the sheet and bursts into flames in front of his grandpa's face and turns him into Freddy. Like the whole thing. The whole thing, I was like, shit, They went for it. They did it.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it. Caught me off guard, and I like that. So like that one stands out to me. I mean, there's a lot in there. There's quite a few in there that stand out, but that one's like, that one gets to me. I was like, damn, you got me on that one.
Yeah, it was, for me, I wasn't too shocked. I was just, at this point, I wasn't shocked that Toby died. I just chalked it up as Dracula gotta eat. Dracula gotta eat. And he's not gonna discriminate when there's a whole buffet on board.
That's true. I mean, he's not gonna discriminate.
Yeah.
Just like, it's just like that Hollywood trope, like kids are safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you're in the Grindhouse movie and your mom leaves you in the front seat when she's like, oh, I'm gonna go check on my dad in the house. He's like, oh, where's your son? Oh, he's in the car. And he found a gun in the glove box and shot himself in the face.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, good job. Maybe that kid's name was Toby too. I don't know. Most terrifying thing from the movie, or whatever from the movie that would be the most terrifying to experience in real life. I gotta say, it'd probably be just being stuck on a boat.
That's what I was gonna say. Just being stuck on a boat in the middle of the ocean. Because people forget. People forget how dark it gets in the ocean. Like when it's nighttime, it's just pure darkness. Just you can't see nothing. So the scariest part is being in the ocean on a boat and knowing that there's just this sexual deviant sucking everybody dry on the ship. That is horrifying. Me sleeping in the cabin, knowing that 2 people went missing, and Anna's here, this girl we don't know, and she's telling us about this beast called Dracula sucking everybody off on the ship. And I'm sitting in my cabin just thinking to myself, am I going to be sucked on next? I don't want to be sucked. Jesus Christ. I'm not trying to be sucked on a ship in the middle of goddamn nowhere. 2 people missing. People getting sucked. There's blood everywhere. I don't know what's going on. It's like I'd lose my goddamn mind.
Speaking of getting sucked, but without blood, Blue Gazer by Brandon Hayes. LP, it's available. Check out on your streaming services. It's there.
I couldn't deal with, and then on top of that, Anna got bite marks and everything, and she's like, oh, I was used for food for this beast. And she's just describing this animal.
I was sacrificed by the village.
And she's just like, oh yeah, I'm food for the beast until we get to our location. So she's getting sucked. Everybody else is getting sucked. I'm not trying to get sucked by no beast.
And he's a deviant because he sucked a kid.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man, I couldn't be on that ship.
He sucked a kid like he visited those freak offs.
Like I couldn't be on the ship. Just being on that ship would be horrifying. Too much anxiety. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I'm not even like that. Like we agree on that one because I'm not even a big fan of like, yeah, let me go. Like I like the ocean's cool and all, but there's so much of the ocean that's not even known. And then you're like, yeah, go out there in the dark.
Yeah.
No.
And first off, it would terrify me because I don't even know how to swim. So that's another thing. That's another thing. I couldn't even be on that boat.
Yeah, no one there had life vests.
Yeah, there were no life vests back then.
No.
So I probably wouldn't even have gotten on the boat. Now, if I was hurting for money, I probably would have got on the boat. But if shit went awry, if shit went awry and I heard that there was a beast sucking off everyone on the boat, I'm jumping overboard, whether I know how to swim or not.
I feel like this is like another good moral, if you will, of this story. Hear me out. Don't hitchhike. Because I feel like Clemens was like, hey, I'm trying to get somewhere. You guys going where I'm going? Let me get on this ship. Let me get on this ship. And then what happened? Suck off everywhere.
Moral of the story, don't hitchhike on boats.
Yeah.
Because there might be a beast on the boat sucking everybody.
Yeah, you know, because of the implications.
The implications. And on that note,
I think we've reached the end.
And on that note, this was the cozy episode of The Last Voyage of the Demeter. We're gonna cut this episode off because I don't want anybody having nightmares about being stuck on a ship and random beasts sucking them off.
Follow us
on the TikTok, the Instagram, the YouTube. Is that it?
Yeah.
And the Patreon.
That's all we got so far.
And the Patreon.
Yeah, if you're, support us on Patreon. If you want more whatever the hell just happened here with this, support us on Patreon.
Support us on Patreon. And we promise.
So that way we don't get sucked
off. So we don't get sucked off. I'm not trying to get sucked off by no beast. But if I have to, hear me out. If I have to, I'll do it for the fans. And on that note, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. I think you're doing amazing in life. Make sure, like I always say, you're taking care of yourself mentally and physically. And if you want to come back and watch some more episodes, please do. I promise I won't call you a bitch, and you definitely won't get sucked off. Smooches.
Smooches. Blue gazer.